right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get us started. We're gonna do this thing. Here we go.
All right.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Tuesday, ready to do some podcasting. Find us everywhere you find podcasts. Leave 5-star reviews. We read them on the show as long as they're nice. The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
and the unofficial sport,
bullet ball,
a bullet ball extreme. And today is a special day. We got a guest.
Yes, sir.
Today's guest is one of the For All Nerds crew. They are hosting Crown Wakanda Forever 2022, the Black Panther screening gala. You may know him as DJ Ben Amin. What's going on, man?
What's good? How y'all doing?
Good,
baby.
Man. Good. We were just on the podcast. They have a podcast, Castle Black, where they talk about Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, and we were on that all-star recap of House of the Dragon, and we had a good black ass time.
We had a great time.
Hopefully y'all go listen to that, because I mean, real tears. It's always fun with the fam.
Somebody said that was in their top. They were halfway through with it, and they said it was their top 10 podcast of all time.
Oh man,
you
love to see it.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that. I was like, wow, that's
I love it, man. You get to come over there, you talk to nerds, you get to be black, you get to talk about all that comic book, all that video game, all that nerd media, which is blowing up right now. So it's actually always a good time. I always look forward to doing it. And the only thing that stresses me out is trying to come up with my AKAs, because I try to keep my AKAs on point. And so sometimes
I actually was prepared this time, because I'm terrible. It's about like rapping. I'm like, I don't know. It always makes me nervous, and it shouldn't, but it does.
It really shouldn't.
It
makes everybody nervous, though. That's the funniest thing about it.
Yeah, I have a Word document that I like come up with my AKAs all the time. So if I'm just thinking, I just hop in there real quick and be like, I gotta say that for bit I mean in them.
Right there, bro. I got several, because I got one for Castle Black, one for Marvel and DC, one for regular nerd random stuff. Yeah.
Listen, I say, like, if they ever ask, I just say yes. And so I say yes before I think of the AKAs, and then the last one was a scramble. It was like,
come on, you're still bodying them shits tomorrow.
I appreciate you, man. It was literally like, as they were talking, like, yeah, man, so we're gonna get ready to get started. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, panic attack. I got a rep to maintain, but
I mean, like I say, we might as well just turn this into the love fest already, because I've told you this. I ran into Bomani Jones earlier this summer, and immediately I was just like, look, man, my objective whenever Rodimus is on my show is to make him laugh. Like, if I make him laugh, then I'm like, especially when I get him falling over laughing, then I'm like, yo, I'm doing something right. If I can get that man to laugh,
man. Yeah. The show is hilarious. You're hilarious. And I always feel like whenever we go live, so like when we record with them, they use Zoom. And so you kind of see everybody's faces and stuff. And I just feel like sometimes when people be talking, it's like you can just look at the other people's faces and be like, oh, they thinking what I'm thinking. So a lot of times I'll be looking at being like, oh, you hear this too. Okay, cool. But I appreciate it. And tell everybody about Crown Wakanda and like how to get there, what it is, all that stuff.
Awesome. Crown Wakanda this is the second time we're doing it. For All Nerds, the first time we did Crown Wakanda was for the premiere of Black Panther, the original film. It was a sold out event. This one's looking like it's to be selling out too. This time we're at Nighthawk Theaters in Brooklyn, Nighthawk Cinema in Brooklyn. You can find out all the information on Eventbrite. If you just search for Crown Wakanda, it comes right up on Eventbrite. You can get your tickets right there as well. But basically, we're doing November 10th in Brooklyn. The day before it officially comes out, like the night before it comes out, 5:30. Well, 5 p.m. we'll start up, where I'll be there DJing. We're going to have like a pre-party, some giveaways, all that type of stuff. It's to be a whole gala affair. Like last time, you can look at our pictures and videos. Everyone was decked out. This time we're telling everyone to come out in white, bright multicolors, all your African, all the diaspora, whatever, all the Afrofuturism, all the flavor, whatever you want to do. We had people cosplaying, all kind of things last time. live drumming, all that. And so, we're going to do it up, and have a real big, nice dress-up affair so everyone can see Wakanda Forever together as a family. That's what I'm most anticipating because, one, I've already seen the movie and I loved it, but I didn't see it in a theater full of Black people and Black and brown people.
That makes a big difference.
I saw it in the theater full of journalists and stuff. And because of that, I didn't.
Yeah, it's a different vibe.
It's a completely different vibe. And so I'm waiting for the time when I can see it with, the family, because it's a movie to be seen with the family.
I feel like, especially for Black stuff, for me, audience is like part of the score. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I've been in movies that I was like, this is all right, but everyone in my Black theater loved it, and I was like, nah, this is great. Matter of fact, Belly.
Oh my God.
I do not think is a good movie, but I watched that shit in a Black theater in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
I couldn't imagine.
You couldn't tell me that shit wasn't Scarface. When I walked out of there, I said, this is the greatest movie of all time.
I mean, I saw the Belly bootleg like many did at that time, because that was a classic bootleg that came out like 5 months before the movie was out. So I saw it with all my boys over, with everyone. That was just like, oh, I got the Belly bootleg, come through. So I saw that movie like 30 times maybe before it dropped. And
I've seen it so many times since it dropped.
Oh, fam, crazy. Come on, man.
Like, I know it backwards and forwards.
Sure, can't eat no books.
Sure, can't eat no books.
Look, come on, bro. I've been wanting that on a t-shirt with a little kid trying to eat
I don't
books.
like that shit.
I don't like that shit at all right there. Might have to drop a dime on them. No, but my favorite of all time, dog, is the scene in the restaurant when my man says, when them niggas pulled out, I seen you looking mad hurt, praying shit wasn't gonna go down. That nigga said praying shit wasn't gonna go down, dog.
Mine is Method Man saying if is it in Nebraska? Because I had that year I had a roommate and he was from Nebraska.
Oh,
so I wore
that one right
out. Yeah, he hated that shit. Every time I see this ain't the illest thing in Nebraska.
Now, every time DMX, rest in peace, speaks in that movie, it is legendary. Every single line is said in the same cadence, and it's all like with the intensity.
No difference.
Yes.
And then Nas is like every single line is said with the same, I'm bored, I'm high as fuck. Yo, I got shot.
I'll never get over Nas. I'll never get over Nas saying he was moving to Africa.
That's like far.
Not a location, not a state, not like a country, not a city, just the continent of Africa. And then he gets off the plane. He was like, and I finally got landed.
Hold on. I got a mind-blowing fact that I just found out this year, right? Because I read the script for Belly, and I'd never read that until this year. The beginning of Belly, and if you've seen it a million times like I have, is supposed to be, they chopped it up so much you can't see this. And the original vision is so wild that I'm probably glad. But it's supposed to be young DMX selling his soul to the devil. And you see the devil in the room with young DMX, and it goes down. Yep.
Yeah, thank God they didn't have a budget for that shit.
Yeah. And like, that's why in the beginning you saw red and you see candles and stuff, and that's what that's about. But yeah, you can't really see what's going on.
Wow.
Yeah. Mind-blowing fact from the Belly script.
Knowledge I wish I didn't have. You know what I mean?
And then DMX gets murked at the end too. So
yeah. Oh man. I remember that, and I remember the sex scene for DMX with that greased up.
Who doesn't?
It was quiet in the theater for that. It was like, who is this?
Yeah, I don't even know. Made me a fan of what's her name forever.
Yeah, I don't even know if she ever worked again. I feel like she had like one music video, then Belly, and then it was like niggas stop calling. I was like, how is she not in everything?
I don't know. Yeah, something must have been wrong there, cause man.
Yeah, man. Listen, every casting agent should have been like on the phone, like, we need a Black love interest. Hold on, I got somebody. I got you.
I got you covered.
Yeah.
You know what it is? They probably watched it and realized it was Belly. You know, I was looking through. I'm looking through rose-colored glasses. Some of the cast directors like, we need people that can actually act. Don't put nobody in this.
But you know, she from ain't she from what do you call it, the Italian joint? That's the girl growing up from Someone's saying it in the chat right now. I know. Where she falls in love with the Italian boy.
A Bronx Tale?
A Bronx Tale. Ain't that her?
Oh, I think that's
her. I might be wrong, but
Okay,
yep, a Bronx Tale. Somebody said in the chat. All right. Yep.
Okay. Let's roll with what they saying.
Yep, there we go.
You don't need to fact check that.
No, chat said it.
Theron Hicks.
There we go.
Played Keisha. And
Keisha.
Yeah, man.
I don't know no fucking Tiana. I was just thinking about that one yesterday. I was just thinking about that one yesterday, dog. I don't know the fucking Tiana.
We already off the rails. But you know what I was thinking of the other day was the interlude before Slipping on DMX album.
Man.
It's like, who dick you sucking? Like
I heard that in forever.
It was such a random thought. Like I was just like going to the store and just thought of that and couldn't get out of my head because I just remember him hanging up being like, bitch, you fucking him. Click. And then the song started.
I miss interludes, man. That was the best shit ever.
Oh man. Yeah, it stopped making really good interludes. That's for real.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, we used to have some bomb interludes. I was listening to Freddie Gibbs' newest album. And
does he have any interludes on there?
So what it is, he got people calling him, leaving.
Yeah, and he played the
voicemails. Yeah, and I just kept thinking, like, man, these like they didn't even give it nothing. Like,
yeah, because what's his name's on there? The white boy, the Disc King, when he's like, "Are you obsessed with rabbits and all that?" You know,
it's like, Jeff Ross.
Yeah, Jeff Ross. And it's like,
it was half-hearted, man. Like I miss like when the Wu-Tang had that skit on Supreme Clientele about the crackhead and the motherfucking check line and stuff like that. Is like I like stuff like that.
Interlude from the first album, like the Torture. You know, all the the whole, Wu-Tang, the nigga calling up to the radio station, again and again. Oh yeah, again and again. No,
Outkast used to have good interludes.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Biggie would have good interludes. I love that.
What happened to the interlude?
Yes.
De La Soul, De La Soul's the greatest of all time. Prince Paul is the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
when it comes to
what I used to love about Outkast interludes used to be picking on themselves.
Yes.
They was like,
De La did that.
Yeah, they was like, them niggas was in some spaceships. Them niggas was doing everything.
First they was some aliens, then they was some genies.
Niggas said, oh, that's what they was talking about?
let me get that pimp trick gangster click.
Yes, pimp click gangster trick.
Hey, the most underrated part of that interlude is the dude behind the counter being like, whoa, y'all like y'all gonna rob somebody, man. I want to follow.
Y'all look like some thugs.
Y'all look
No, the other one is when the nigga try and sell him weed. Don't come around here.
So it got the plane ticket on it.
You did. Don't.
My favorite one, and I don't know why this makes me laugh every time. So cut up. I can tell that ass up. That is my shit. And you know what? Sometimes I randomly say that just for no goddamn reason because it just kills my soul every time.
This nigga said, he's like, he trying to get some cut up.
Yeah. So cut up.
Yeah. That's my shit.
Oh man. And then the other one was like Cookie and Peaches. She was talking about that dude. She's like, dick so short.
Yes.
Came quick. He got his. I ain't get mine. Oh man. That's my shit. So let's talk about nerd stuff real quick, man. I know
Did we say everything about Crown Wakanda? Eventbrite. You can get your tickets right now.
Link in the show notes.
Yeah, we put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, I got the copy to the link right here. And it's gonna be in the show notes. So if you're listening to this later, get your tickets. Make sure you go out there, support. I know we got a rack of listeners in New York.
There we go.
Because I see the fucking the geographic information, and it's like New York, DC, Chicago, everywhere niggas is at. We got listeners.
Same.
So I know y'all up there. So go out there and support, man. And I know last time everybody that went was talking about how much a good time they had.
Yes.
So I see the pictures online from the last joint. I'm not gonna be back in New York yet, but if I was up there, I'd go because it's that lit. So y'all make sure y'all go out there and support.
Yeah, and also before we move on, y'all covered Comic-Con, and I seen y'all was taking pictures with a lot of fans and things like that, and that was really cool because people were saying they was like, I got to meet them, and they was like, I found them through the show. I was like, oh, look at them in the party.
I know, yeah. I mean, but yeah, I'll get to that. But first, I just want to say because somebody in the chat said that it's a little early for them. The pre-party starts at 5. I think the actual show, the movie, starts at 7. So you know what I mean. You could probably make it through, and we're gonna have an after party after the movie because y'all are gonna want to talk. Because Lord have mercy, y'all gonna want to talk after this movie. I promise. Nigga, I walked out of that shit. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It's not on the same like level of Infinity War where. But it was that same feeling where I walked out like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And I couldn't really talk to nobody other than the people I was with because this is the end of the phase. It's this shit huge. It's a big ass movie.
Man.
And then on to meeting, like I know y'all experienced this shit. To me, it's the wildest shit because like when you meet people who are listening to you, they have a different connection that I think I've had. You know, I've been a DJ all my life. You know, I've had fame in all kind of different areas and shit. But when you meet people who listen to you on a pod, it's like a different thing because they know you personally. And that shit is, I love it so much. But it's also people be acting like you know, a superstar and shit. And I'm just like, yo, I'm over here.
You are to them. Yeah,
I'm just at Comic-Con, like having the best time of my life. Like you see all these Marvel legends, like I bought them shits at Comic-Con, nigga. I was so hyped. You know? That's all, you know?
I'm just like anyone else. Yeah, I had to stay away from like the pictures and stuff like that because I was like, I want to buy them all. Let me get my ass out of this artist lane and get somewhere else because I would have them shits all over the walls.
Well, you can't see it there.
And if y'all can see live, you can see the Galactus that he just got.
Yeah,
that one.
That's like the star of DJ Vitamins Instagram. That the Galactus.
No, I was watching it today. I'm about to recreate the My Buddy commercial like completely. Watch. Like I might drop that hoe by next week if I can get it done. But I'm about to. Like, I was watching this shit today, like plotting out the shots and shit. Like
you gonna have to get a power wheel, put it in beside you. You know what I mean? That thing is big. That thing big as a baby. Like
it's a fucking toddler, nigga. That nigga's a toddler. That nigga's a heavy toddler. That nigga's a crazy toddler.
I was looking at Vin's IG like. Man, I wonder if I could fit that in the crib. Like,
that shit is of space, fam.
Right, that joint. Ooh, boy.
But yeah, I waited a year on that hoe, so it's like, Wow. And Galactus, if you see live above, it's an obsession. I got multiple Galacti up in here. Like,
man, remember when Fantastic Four made him a cloud?
Man, you want to talk about hurt?
Bro, we was in the dog days of like we now reached a generation where it's a lot of people that's never gonna know the pain of being a nerd and going to the movies like 20 years ago where it was just like, man, I hope they try to do something with this and you leave like 9 times out of 10 like they didn't even give a fuck.
Like I didn't even see that one in the theater because when I heard that he was a cloud, I was so like like, nigga, I waited. And, you know, Lawrence Fishburne was an inspired choice in Silver Surfer. So I was like, okay, you know. And then they were like, nah, they got a cloud at the end, fam. And I was like, what?
Why? And then, like, I wonder if those people that produce those movies ever look back and look at, like, what people have done
since. The money now, they mad.
Right,
and they lied to themselves.
Like, they didn't take it seriously.
Why didn't we just make him a big ass like dude with a hand reaching out to the fucking globe, and everybody would have been like, "Yo, they did it! They finally made
all they needed. That's all they needed." Yeah,
dog, it's crazy. I've seen so many bad comic book movies in the theater. Jonah Hex,
Jonah Hex is terrible.
Yeah, like I'm a nerd. Like I've seen some that just tangentially nerd, like I looked at it and said, I don't even think this shit gonna be good, but it is a nerd movie. I'm gonna go see it, and just so many disappointments.
Yeah, we seen like all them X-Men. We started with Blade. I remember when the first Blade
was great.
I remember when Blade came out. We was in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we had went there, and the movie theater was packed. And I remember when everybody left there, everybody was like, "Oh my God, what did we just see?" It was like one of the greatest movies of all time. Like at that time, because nobody actually cared enough to do it right, if that makes sense. And I was like, you know what? Let's go.
Yeah, 1 and 2 was the shit. Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. I said, "Oh, hold up."
He freestyled that line. That wasn't in the script.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was like, I've read a Blade comic book. I don't remember him saying that cool, but that's the coolest shit I ever heard in my life. We need to run this back. And the second one was good too. Like the second one was good. The third one I don't vouch for. We don't.
Third one's cool.
We don't talk about that one.
Yeah. No.
They tried it. But so what's it been like covering Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon or House of Dragons?
Dragons, we got about 45 names.
What's it been like covering it for y'all over there this year?
Yeah, man, it's been hilarious. I think I mean, because that was like one of the first times, like when we did the first Castle Black, when we were covering Game of Thrones, that was like when we first got like, I mean, we got a lot of recognition and stuff before that, but that was something, it just struck a nerve. And to me, it was one of the funnest shows we've done at the time because we just were like, fuck it, we're going to be super black on this. We are not going to give a damn, because we know how white this show is and we know how white the coverage is and we know how intelligent we are. So we can also, apply blackness to it. So and also like, I became the villain of the show at that point because I called, and I'm now the new villain of the show again, because on the first run, I called Jaime Lannister the hero of the story for pushing Bran out the window and starting everything off. Thus saving the realm by creating the one-eyed, whatever he is, one-eyed Raven to later on, stop the Night King, etc. So, Jaime's the hero of the story.
Technically, though, that checks out.
Checks out for me. Look, I had to put a lot of thought into that, to spin that one around. But yes, I just like Jaime and Cersei because I felt like they played the game the best. I'm about like we talked about
Cersei in hindsight is like one of the greatest characters they've ever written, just because of how aware she was from like step one of the game. Like she was so aware, like, okay, and like it's weird because I feel like if House of the Dragons had made House of the Dragons did for Rhaenyra what Game of Thrones didn't do for Cersei. Like they just introduced you through her perspective. Yeah. And so like if we would have been introduced through Cersei's perspective of like she had the hero of the story children and she ain't give a fuck because she's like, I'm still gonna be the queen. Yeah, we would have been rooting for her. Like, let's go then,
because that's why I keep saying about Rhaenyra. I think Rhaenyra is just trifling and as messed up as any other character on the show. But because it's from her perspective, people suddenly like, oh my god, and it's like this woman married a man who chops off dicks. Like, I can't get over that, for fun. Like, my man went out for a night on the town to chop off dicks. Like, that's what he thought was a fun night on the town, fam. Like, like no, bro. After that,
that's like I love how this year they purposely made everybody somewhat fucked up. And to me, it's much more fun to watch the show when people everybody do something that you be like, well, come on, man. Like everybody.
That's why people get irritated because there's no quote unquote good person that they can root for. So you see a lot of people where it's almost like a yay, boo. All through up and down the timeline, like when you seeing people respond to it.
The only people that I've seen folks like really feel like they should go up for are mostly the dead ones. Like when you see somebody be like, "Oh, Lena was my favorite," I'm like, "Cause she was only here for 2 weeks. Of course, she would
have done some ancient stuff if
she had lived like another 6 weeks. Y'all be hating her too. Like all these fools got something crazy. Low key, Lena hollered at her uncle at her wedding when she was engaged. So like,
she did.
Like she was supposed to be betrothed to like one of the dudes from the Free Cities, and she went and pulled up on Damon like, I heard you got that dick, and I heard you killed your wife. And next thing you know, she married. So like, everybody got something.
Wow.
And what do you think about like the Marvel stuff? Like I know Disney, Marvel.
Somebody said use your dick for crimes, lose your dick for fun. Like I agree with that, but the man who says that he goes out to chop off the dick is the one I got the issue with. Like that
he was
man
a little excited.
Like, he was way too happy about it. Like, come on, fam. Like, that's gotta be a job you regret.
Yeah. Shout out to the dude that got to remember everybody crimes. He got a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I know
he had no paper or nothing out there. I would have
straight off memory.
I would have been up there fucking up a little. Like I think he what you do? You steal something or cut off his hand?
Yes, I stole something. Yes, nigga. I was not the rapist.
I stole a bunch of stuff.
just top off the pinky.
Like it had to be a lot of pressure. It had to be at least one person out there like, man, he cut off my dick, but all I did was stop them. Like, why they so extra? But yeah, it's so crazy because like as a concept, the show has us rooting for like this elite, rich royalty anyway. Like as a concept, is the fact that people are like pulling for, like no one's ever pulling for like Miss Saria, who's like a former prostitute turned mistress of secrets, trying to protect the kids from being in fucking kid fight club. Nobody rooting for her.
We were rooting for her. We were rooting for her on the show. I'm hoping she didn't get cooked up.
Exactly. But like, we not like she should be on the throne. We like, that's crazy. We just hope she lives.
Yeah, I just hope she lives. In a way, I know she trifling. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think anybody should be on the throne. All these people trifling.
Right.
I said that when like everyone roots for Rhaenys, and she bust through with the dragon and killed all the people who was just chilling there waiting to see their new king. Like I said, like imagine you go to see Obama get inaugurated and a fucking dragon bursts up through the ground, fam. Come on.
I'd have been mad as shit.
Mad as hell. I was at Obama's inauguration. Fam, I'd have been pissed off.
Come on. They didn't get a chance to eat breakfast. They was just waking up and stretching and shit. They kicked everybody out the bed and was like, go on up there to the castle.
Here's the perfect allegory. It's not Obama's inauguration, because obviously we would have loved to go to that. It's like if Trump had an inauguration, they forced niggas from DC to be in the fucking audience.
God.
Nigga. And then Hillary Clinton bust through the crowd with an SUV and drove over 10 people and stared at them and drove off. We'll be like, fuck her too.
Right. Fuck her too.
It's no way we would be okay with that shit, man. That's what that show did. And we still was like, you know what, Ray needs a real one, dog.
The only way I would have been okay with it if Hillary Clinton just drove up on the rest of them niggas. Like, you know, we said, but then I would have got cooked too. So, you know, it would have been, I wouldn't have been known about it.
I wouldn't have been able to say nothing about it on Twitter, but if she drove through a crowd and then drove over Trump and them, I'd be like,
yeah. Hopefully my family understood. I went out for
publicly.
I hope I didn't know nobody in the crowd, but
I hope I wasn't forced that day.
It's a dark day for our democracy. Yada yada yada.
Prayers.
Get this man out of here. But yeah, so what do you think? I know y'all covered the Marvel stuff too, and you know, we getting deep in the weeds now. We got Moon Knight.
Somebody asked me what was my thought on Black Adam's box office performance, and I have no idea what it did. Oh shit. That's like I don't be thinking about that. I'll be honest, y'all. Like I've never thought about that when it comes to a movie. Like, unless it's Black Panther. And then I'm like, let that bitch make $1 billion. You know, that's all I do.
That changed in my lifetime too. Probably because the movies used to suck, but like rooting for movies at the box office, like a stock market type thing, was
that's
weird to me.
That's new.
That's new. That's really new.
I like Black Adam overall.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. We saw it. Yeah, here's the thing.
Can we talk about Hawkman getting his ass busted? That was the best part of that movie for me. Like that nigga repeatedly getting his ass kicked.
So I enjoyed it on 2 levels.
Yes.
Okay. So on the first, as a movie, it's all right. Like it's lifting a lot. It's trying to lift a lot from shit that it don't have no problem. Like
it had not their fault.
It's not like they fault that, you know, what Zack Snyder did to the Justice League. And you can tell they kind of want to tie in, but then they kind of scared, which I don't blame them, because that whole thing is fucked. That franchise is fucked now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So like as a movie, you know, it's got some different areas and stuff, but comedically, the idea of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his fucking contract being like, I can never lose a fight, and still building that around a movie that stars the villain is hilarious to me. This nigga barely busted a sweat the whole movie. He never loses.
Nothing. Like, he busts Hawkman's ass like relentlessly.
So many times, dog. It was like, just leave him alone.
You're not on this man's level, dog.
Right? Why are y'all even here? Y'all know it's a whole Justice League, man. They should have sent them. Y'all the B squad in the first place. And y'all showing up to another country trying to be like, this man needs to chill. You can't stop him. Like, it's not that y'all don't want to. He keep whooping y'all ass. Damn, it was bad, man. This nigga literally beats himself for like the third act. like he never loses. The third act is just him being like, I guess I'll go ahead and call it a day. Like, that's it. Oh man, The Rock is crazy, man. I don't know what he's gonna do to the whole like franchise. I'm sure it's gonna be hard to write a movie around him being a villain because they're like him versus Henry Cavill. I'm like, The Rock would have to allow Henry Cavill's contract to allow him to beat him. Like,
right?
Does The Rock?
I know it's like that for Fast and Furious, but is it like that for every movie?
All his movies, yes. He can't lose a fight. He can't take so many punches to the face.
Yeah. All
this shit. And I just keep wondering how they gonna write around it. I mean, I would love to be in the room to attempt it, but it's gonna be funny no matter how you do it, because at some point it's like, bro, you sign up to be the villain.
Right.
You gotta take a L. Like, if he lets Henry Cavill beat him, I'll give him nothing but props for that, because they can't make a franchise around this nigga being the baddest motherfucker on the planet.
They can't lose.
And all the heroes keep getting beat up, man. You can't do it. It's impossible. Nobody's ever done that before, dude.
Nigga, the whole DCEU, whatever, is so wild and out of control right now. It's just like, I'm just loving to see it right now, because it's like, it's so hilarious to see something done with no plan while you see something done with a plan on the other side. And because you get some good results out of it. Like, I was rewatching Suicide Squad today, and I really enjoy it. Peacemaker was really good.
Mm-hmm. The second one.
The second.
Yeah. I like the second one. Yep.
And now James Gunn is taking over, so we'll see what happens.
I love that idea. I love the
idea. Like, there you go. It's like when the Nets came together. I love the idea.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
On paper, it's looking tight. You know what I'm saying? My fantasy squad, but
the numbers look right. We'll see.
We gonna see.
But, we'll see how this pans out.
I thought that was a good piece of news hearing that, because it made me feel like maybe they figured something out. But it's weird that like the dude that the Black Adam movie was made under, Hamada, he quits after the movie came out and exceeded like expectations.
Nigga, like, nigga got so much hate, bro. I would have quit too. Like, man, if you see the hate that man gets, and I'm just like, y'all, I mean, we get into the weeds again, but like, there's a lot of insane fandom these days, and it's
and sometimes it is too much.
I know some of it is bots, but there's some people out there like this, and it's like, I mean, we saw it with, we've seen it right down with Wakanda Forever. Like, I'm like, I already know when this shit dropped. Oh my god, it's like gonna be, people are gonna be, it's just gonna be super divisive again. Black people are still gonna be divided over this movie. I can promise you that. But this movie is also like, go fuck yourselves when it comes to that, because it's like we had a movie to make, and and this is what we made, so deal with it.
But I saw recently the House of the Dragon. There was a fan petition online because they wanted the writer and director, this woman, fired because of the decision that Rhaenyra makes to not kill everybody on the stage. They wrote
that might be my homie's homie who wrote that episode.
Yeah, that's crazy. Shit. They want somebody fired. Like, nigga, it's just a TV show. You didn't like a decision a character made. Like, that's a new level of toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's the next
it's
level.
Okay to like it. I would even be okay with you being like, man, fuck that episode. You're not supposed to be like, we need to get them fired. Like, what?
Wow. I mean, like, and I've talked about this before. We have a spoiler review of Wakanda Forever coming out. That'll be dropping like the weekend after it drops. And I really went in on that episode. And I'm going to go in a lot once the movie comes out, because I have a lot of shit to say, because especially when it comes to Black people in Hollywood, the absolute audacity and arrogance I saw from fandom when people started calling out Ryan Coogler and Nate Moore and talk about like they don't care about Black people and shit.
Wow.
Was like the audacity of you fucking clowns,
right?
Because as Rob, both of us worked, and you know what it is. Like, the shit is white beyond belief. And so when anyone on that level is working in it and making things happen for Black people, I don't question them. I barely fucking question Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I
like,
barely question Tyler.
It's like I'm like this. We have gotten to the point where Black people are getting what they want and they still complain, but then you don't know what you want. And the reason why
you never know what you want.
For a long time, people complained about Tyler Perry because there was no one else.
Yep.
Okay, you got Tyler Perry, you got Issa Rae, you got Ava DuVernay. Like you got all these people.
Shonda.
If you don't like a certain genre, go watch something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like and I think the thing that kills me, and because this is not my jam, I think a lot of people, particularly due to social media, they feel like they have to be involved. And if you don't like, let's say, scary stuff, why would you watch something around Black people that's scary if you know that's not your jam? Mm-hmm. And then you watch it and you complain the whole time. Well, then, like I said, my question to you is, you didn't have to be here.
Yeah.
And people always act like them not being there is not an option. They act like they have to be everywhere and they have to give their opinions about everything, regardless of if they like it or not. And my thing is this: if I'm somewhere having a good time, bitch, I don't want you in the middle of the dance floor hiding about how you having a good time. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, question yourself. Like a lot of times I think one of the things we don't see enough is people questioning their own internal shit. Because I think that's what changed a lot of the stuff I like. When I'm like, why is this bothering me in a world of infinite options at this point where it's too much TV? Everybody got a long ass list of shit that they can't catch up on, that they do like. And it's like, why is it bothering me? And like, for me, I was able to be like, oh, I just don't need to be up on everything. Like, it's totally fine. Sometimes even, and I know, Ben, you go through this too. People write it, hey man, can you cover this, that, and the other? And I'll be like, well, now it's turning into work. So I'm not even gonna get to enjoy it the way you think I'm gonna get to enjoy it, because I gotta fucking make notes and shit. And then secondly, like, that might not be my shit. And do you really want my opinion on some shit I don't like? Like,
right,
why don't you watch this reality show? I don't like reality shows. Now, why would I do that to you? I'm not knocking reality shows. I love that y'all love them, but it'll be stupid for me to come on here every week and be like, let me tell you why I think this is bad. Like, what the fuck kind of use of my life is that? You know what I mean?
Love is Blind is amazing, but I'm not going to do a podcast on it, fam. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's just amazing, the whole psychology of people going on this show to, find love. Yeah, bullshit.
Right, yeah.
It's more like find fame, is what they're really doing. But yeah, that's like that. I'm not gonna I could do one show on it, and break down my thoughts on it, and that'd be it.
Right.
But on some other geek shit, I don't know if y'all watching it. And we've only done one. We covered the first 4 episodes, and we'll probably do another to cover the next 4. I think Andor is the best thing on TV.
Andor is excellent.
I love
it. Beyond like what Star Wars, has shown. Like Star Wars is why I do everything. You know what I mean? That is like in the beginning of everything. Like again, for those watching live, there's the lightsaber, and this is the waist skateboard, like that. Yeah, that's like beginning. That's my childhood. That's everything for me. So Andor is like that. I don't know. It's like this. It's what it should have been, for a long time that it hasn't been, as Ross said. And it's like what Clone Wars is, but real life, like live action.
It's
Clone
like
Wars
adult.
To me is so good.
It's so crazy because it's like adult. Like it's the first time they really went adult with it, because like they allude to people like sleeping together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like he's in a brothel in the very beginning.
Yeah, he's in a brothel. The shout out to the sister. He never got her snacks back because he ended up in jail.
Yes, I asked Roger. I was like, "Did she ever get
I was thinking about her. She was like, "Yo, what the fuck happened to my man's?" Like,
he went for a food run and never came back.
And then she probably found his credits and all that shit. Came up lovely and dipped.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
Okay, hit that Cardi B on him. But yeah, and then just the way that they're treating the Empire and the impact it will have on folks, and even the Revolution. It's just so much more adult themes.
The rebels are like showing you how the rebels and the Empire are basically 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah,
they're all people drawn. Like, I mean, the last episode, I've been incarcerated, so the last episode it fucked me up.
Ooh,
it wrecked me. Like, I was not because I didn't know it was going there. And so when I, and it's been enough time where when I first came home, I couldn't watch no shit like that. I wouldn't have been able to watch that episode. Even now, that fucked me up because it was it got everything to a T. The dehumanizing, the loss of hope, everything that happens to you. So that shit was a fuck. Like I thought the season was 8 episodes. So when that shit ended, I was like, no fucking way, I'm got to wait a fucking year to watch. I was like,
It's like we really doing time with this man.
Yeah, I was like, no way, I got to wait a year to find out if this nigga what. Jesus,
like, is this gonna survive?
And the thing for me too is like, it's such an adult experience, and also I think Star Wars is best to me when it's a heist. Like whenever it's a heist about to happen.
Talk about that,
yeah. Like even if you look at like when they destroyed the Death Star, that's a heist movie, really. Like we got to get the plans. We got to get a ragtag team together. We got this one slim chance. Everything got to go right to get this fucking one shot through this, and then like blow up. And somebody on Twitter was like, "Well, I don't understand. How's it a heist movie? What were they stealing?" I was like, "Freedom." They were stealing freedom from the oppressor, my nigga. Like they everything's a slim chance. Like I love to me. That's my favorite version of Star Wars. And then when it's just lightsabers and stuff, I still love fighting and all that. I love all the Star Wars shit, but it's I don't want to say lesser, but it's just not. It's not the peak for me. My memorable moments are the slim plans that go through.
Yeah, and hope. That's what Star Wars is always about for me, is hope. Beyond everything, it's hope. And that's what drove me as a child. What I still get from it is hope. And Andor, as oppressive as the rebellion is, as oppressive as the Empire is, as oppressive as everything, it shows you, like I kept talking about, like there's shots of everyone always in just where it's them, and then it's just larger than life situations. Like the office is a fucking giant hallway. Or it's 50,000 people in one office, or Andor walks into a shipyard and it's 3,000 ships. It's just Andor. So it's like one person can change everything. And it's like that shit, nigga, like that show. And then like how they, I like people might not like that, but the humanization of the Empire is something that is so ill to me, because like showing these niggas as messy ass bitches is like the funniest, wildest shit, because that's how it would be. Any corporation is, like full of that. And so,
and how willingly like some of the people are to be cogs in the machine.
Yes.
Like they might not even see themselves that way, but that's really what they are, just cogs in this big ass machine. It is funny though, as we get more creators and bigger production, you get more diversity now. So now when I look in the Empire room and it's not all white dudes, I'll be a little bit like, we didn't need this diversity.
Right, they could have hold that. That was supposed to be their thing, that they're racist against all aliens and everybody. So I feel that.
I don't remember a lot of black extras in the beginning of this joint in the George Lucas trilogy, and I was completely fine with that shit.
But it wasn't but in the George Lucas trilogy, there wasn't no blacks.
That's what I'm saying.
Lando. That's it.
Yeah, it was and then the one black we get betrays him. You know what I'm saying?
Again, hits on the woman as soon as he walks on screen. What do we have here?
Yeah. Like this guy.
George that nigga was my favorite nigga. I wanted everything Lando as a kid. That nigga was the greatest thing ever.
Okay. I'll even watch that Han Solo movie with Donald Glover because I like Lando that much. But that's hilarious, man. But I think Disney Plus, man, they kind of doing the damn thing, man. I enjoy She-Hulk.
I really enjoy She-Hulk.
And I think we're just getting to a point now where the shows are like genre based. And it's totally fine to not like them now. Like when I see somebody that don't like something, I don't even be like, I'm not defending it. Cool. Like it's 20,000 shows, dog. Like,
they got another one coming. Yeah, they it's like they are their own network now. It's like, not all, I don't like every show on ABC. I don't expect to. Like,
and the thing I love about Disney Plus, and the thing that I thought was so funny, and me and Roger talked about this when they first announced Disney Plus. Me and Roger was like, take my money. Everybody else was like, why would I pay for that? I was like, bitches, it's Disney. Y'all know they got everything.
They gonna get it right.
They got you covered. They got your kids covered. But they was acting crazy. You know, people really complaining. And then Disney was like, oh, we out doing Netflix. I was like, oh, somebody lied to me. Right. AppleCare told me that y'all wasn't going to buy that shit. But apparently some of y'all bought the 3-year plan.
Yep.
Well, you're paying $2 a month.
It's funny because they raised the price and you didn't hear no pushback like you heard.
None, bro.
Like Netflix raised the price. I might have to be off of it, man. Yeah. Disney raised the price. Was like, that's thank you, son.
Thank you, Mr. Mouse. Because the thing I like about Disney, and me and Roger be looking at each other, Disney will have one show have 10 episodes, another show have another 10, and when one show get to season 8, the other one start, and I'll be looking like, well, damn, they got 2 shows airing this week, and then when that one end, you may get 2 weeks. When I say may, that's a small may, and then they be like, well, we got something else for you, and I was like, because in my mind, I'm thinking, how far in advance did y'all plan this shit? Where it's like, y'all, when I tell you, it's consistently some new shit out there.
Yeah,
and that's just with these shows. That's not including the other shit that they're doing.
Even the pandemic barely fucked them up,
right?
Like it barely. Like I feel like Falcon and the Winter Soldier would have been like a 9 out of 10 instead of like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
It barely fucked that. Like that's enough to be like, oh, this show is fuck. Like I know working in with game theory. Like we were scared as fuck of COVID. It could fuck anything up. Guests get COVID, writer somebody get COVID. It's like, fuck, man. I don't know what we're gonna do this week. These niggas was juggling Disney shit, like
massive productions.
Come on, like we need to tie this into the next thing, and this gonna be like what if and shit. And I'm like, y'all was able to just do that. Like it's amazing what they're doing over there, and hopefully James Gunn can bring some of that Disney experience.
I hope so.
Over there, and
I want everybody to win.
Yeah, I'm not rooting against these.
Yeah, that's another one. I mean, but that goes back to me being a kid and people rooting Marvel versus DC Comics, and that was something I just never understood. Like I personally read more Marvel, but I loved the DC shit that I loved. Like Rae Wynn-Grant, Flash were 2 of my favorite series as a kid. Flash, especially, I love me some Flash. Like because I do not like Ezra Miller, so it hurts me because I've been waiting for a Flash movie. You know what I mean? Because I like
Flash. Who's your Flash? Wally or the original Flash?
Wally. I grew up on Wally. I grew up on Wally.
A lot of people.
Yeah, no, Wally was like Wally. I grew up right after Crisis came out. So when Barry Allen, I wasn't reading it when Barry died. Like the first Flash comic I read was Wally. William Lester Loebs used to write it, and it was like, that was I love that Wally.
I wasn't a big DC guy, but once again, I never got into the fights. I just didn't. It just wasn't my thing to be like, this is better, this is worse.
Yeah,
that's
it. Yeah, I was reading so many companies back then too, like Comico, Image when they came out. But there was like so many companies I used to read that I didn't give a shit.
My main thing was just I wish I had infinite money. Cause I was only making them decisions because I ain't had the money. Like it was never like fuck Superman. It was like fuck Superman $2.95. Spider-Man already started.
already started reading.
Yeah. X-Men already got me, boy. Like I buy anything X-Men related. I cannot afford Superman.
Marvel used to hit you with that crack too, because Marvel knew what they was doing. They'd be like, yo, you like X-Men? Gambit got his own thing. Oh, you like Gambit? We gonna have to give you a spinoff with Gambit people, the Eternals. You be like, damn, I guess I gotta read this. You know, nothing hurts worse than when you can't afford to get that spinoff book and you reading your main book and they be like, it'd be like, Gambit, what you gonna do about your child? It's like, to find out about the child, read Gambit. I'm like, damn, I gotta go buy this shit. They used to be the worst, y'all.
Oh man, I remember with the first time they did like the Mutant Massacre, and it was like follow it through all these books.
Bro.
And I bought. I wasn't reading Thor, but that's how Marvel was amazing because I never read an issue of Thor before that. But then he crossed over with the X-Men, and then I started reading Thor.
Yep.
And then Captain America crossed over in Secret Wars, and I started reading Captain America.
The one for me was Onslaught.
That was later. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, same thing. They got you all. It'll get you all.
I have fought so many of them battles. Are like, I'm not getting me with the 5. Onslaught was the first one I broke down. I think it was either Onslaught or Executioner song.
Executioner song was good.
Executioner song, I refuse to do it, and I missed I don't understand none of the plot. Like to this day, I just know something about Strife because I had my books. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not reading Cable number 7, man. I can't afford that shit. And
I read all them shits.
Yeah, man. Like I had to go back and get them now digitally. And the same thing with Onslaught was the one where I just broke down. I was like, I have to know. Because like they had for Onslaught fighting like the Avengers, the fucking Fantastic Four. I said, who is this dude? I need to know. It turned out to be Charles Xavier anyway. But, man, he was amazing.
Like, who is this dude? I remember after me and Roger got older, and this place is no longer there, but me and Roger used to go to the comic book store. It was this white man. He ran a comic book store, and we would go in there. And he used to love us coming because when we came, we was dropping a few $100s between me and him both. Because we was that's what you had.
It was not a few hundred, but keep going.
Oh, we were going through.
I was the one paying.
I'm sorry. This is coming from somebody who didn't have to pay the bill, who really didn't pay attention. All I know is I came in with a buttload of comics. He paid for them.
Yeah, it was never a few hundred. I definitely have a few $100s back then for nothing. I think I was living with my parents. If I would have had my own apartment if I had a few $100s a week, dog.
But he had a real job.
Yeah. but he did love us though. That dude loved to see us coming. He was like, oh man, yeah.
Oh man.
Saving the books for you. Like that is definitely an experience that has lost out during the pandemic and during the digital. Like I love digital comics, but we kind of lost something with your local comic book experience. And as a Black person, it's so hard to find one that you don't feel like you catching some bullshit for being Black in there.
Right.
So like I fucked with that dude heavy. I used to, when I moved, I would drive across town to go back just to his shop to be like, oh, I know I could trust my man, because sometimes you walk in and you feel like you get the cold shoulder, man.
It was growing up in Houston. Mine is still there. It's the dude who passed away, but it's Nance James and Comics, and they're still there. But it's like different people there now, so it ain't the same feel. But if you're in New York, because I always will shout them out, Anyone Comics in Brooklyn, Anyone Comics and Everyone Comics. They're two different shops now. He owns them both. My man Dimitri are straight up one of the most inclusive and just one of the best places you can get comics from. I love them to death. We do all kind of events with them. We'll be doing something live there soon, actually. They're one of the supporters of Crown Wakanda. So they are just, they're great. Dimitri, just a great dude. And, like if you want to find a shop that you can be yourself in and everything, that is it. Anyone Comics.
I love that. Yeah, I remember we moved and I went to the close. It was literally a comic book stop up the street from me. So I was excited. I was excited about this shit. I was like, oh, I ain't got to drive all the way out to Pineville no more.
Man.
Shit, man, I went up in there, dog, for 3 weeks straight. These niggas didn't have Miles Morales 1.
Wow.
I said, nigga, this the biggest release.
That shit is huge.
Like, how racist you gotta be to not want that money? And then was acting like I was getting on their nerves. I said, nigga, I'm coming here to give you
money
in your hand. How you not? Oh, I'll get it on back order for you. Don't worry, I got you next week on the second print. My man we don't got it. Okay, I think I see what's up over here. So
that's the New York is good. That's what I'll say, because like there's Anyone, which I love. The one I used to love, I missed because they closed down. Dude moved out of town. Is Bergen Street Comics. We used to do mad events there. They were in Brooklyn. They were great, and that was white dude who owned them. And but my man was just a great dude. Mad chill. And then like of course Forbidden Planet. It's just an amazing place to be in. But yeah, Anyone Comics, I saw someone in the chat say they love them too, and they're just the fucking best, man. And Dimitri is like, what if you know him, he is the funniest ride. Like, this is the biggest asshole, but the funniest asshole you'll ever meet. Like, oh my god,
a lovable grump,
a lovable grump. That is Dimitri. That's a perfect description of that man. A lovable grump.
All right, well, let's get into some news of the day, man. I feel like we fulfilled. A lot of people want us to get into some nerdy talk, as a reprieve. I know the day is depressing as fuck for folks. So we'll try to
get one thing before we get into that, because I want to ask y'all this, because I saw someone in the chat mention it, and we were thinking about doing something for Castle Black. Have y'all watched Interview with the Vampire?
Not yet. I heard it's good, though.
All right, yeah, I'm going to have to do it. All right, I might do that tonight.
Yeah, okay. I heard it's good. Like, everybody keep recommending it to me. As like, yo, you gotta check this out. And low key, like, FX and AMC keep a roster.
They do, don't
like they don't really drop bad shows. Like they just like they might drop a show you don't got time to get into. That's different. But I don't want every time I put play on one of them series, I'll be like, yo, this shit is actually really good.
Damn, so. The chat going crazy saying it's dope. So fuck.
Yeah,
right,
I got to get on it.
Castle Black might have to be Castle Interview with the Vampire. I don't know what we.
I mean, look, Dracula Castle.
Yeah, I can't keep creating new shows, man. That's my problem. I'm like,
I know. I forget what happened. Oh yeah, I think Ben hit me up. He was like, yeah, man. What do you think about us hopping on an Andor show together? I said, Ben, I'm showed out. I don't even know I will find the time for that shit at this point. Like
that's why I'm doing that with my man Mello, and we do 4 episodes at a time because I'm like, fam, I can't do weekly. I can't do it. Like I love this show too much. I don't ever
tell nobody else what to do, but I almost hit being like, "You sure you got the time, brother?"
I
see you working. I see you working like shit over there too. Hey, you good? Okay. Well, hey,
out here gallivanting, picking up some new shit.
Gallivant, that's it.
All right, so let me play my regular news music. Shout out to Infrared Crypto. That's a little bit soulful right there.
Who is that right there?
This listener of the show, Infrared Crypto, he sent us some beats so we could have like little breaks between our segments.
Real good beat makers.
And that one was called Changes. You can find Infrared Crypto. It's spelled KRYPTO. You can find him on all the Spotify. Find him on Spotify.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit!
All right,
up, dog, if you're listening.
Biggest news is, of course, very sad news, but the Migos rapper Takeoff was fatally shot outside Houston bowling alley at age 28.
Oh, he was young. That baby was young.
Yeah, man. Listen, I know our generation is older, so you know most of these niggas only listen to like 90s rappers, even if they like 60 and shit. It's like I'm listening to Cool Mo D for the rest of my life, but like you miss out on a lot of good like younger rappers. But as a fan of like a person that's never stopped listening to hip hop, no matter the age, yo, this generation, there's so many rappers getting killed.
It's ridiculous.
It's like an epidemic.
Yeah, it reminds you of like years ago with our generation, how we used to consistently almost hear about people getting shot, and for some reason it just stopped. Like and people actually just grew older and aged, and it's almost like it's a resurgence of that. I don't know what's happening for people. But you know, my heart goes out, and I'm not gonna lie, I heard them because of Cardi B, because I know Cardi B married one of them, and so I was like, the Migos, who was the Migos? I had no idea who they was. So because that kind of got me in.
Nah, they were made. They are a major group.
Yeah, and I go back to them with like blogging.
I'm old, so I wasn't keeping up.
Karen just likes to say how much she doesn't know stuff. Go ahead, Ben.
When I was like, when I was blogging, you know, that's like the early 2010s and shit, and that's when, you know, they first came up. And I remember when I didn't like Versace, I was like, whatever, you know. But I knew that shit was a hit. I started playing it as a DJ right away. I was like, shit, I don't give a fuck if I like this or not. I know this motherfucker break on it, and I know this is a bop. Like I'm gonna play the hell out of it. And then I can't remember what the next single was, but it's probably the next single where I was like, oh, okay, you know, fuck it, I get it, you know, Migos, I get it. These niggas is hard.
It was Bad and Bougie. Bad and Bougie was just like, it was so undeniable.
That was beyond, like that was a era, like that was
like I was actively trying to dislike this shit, and then once I heard Bad and Bougie, I said, I gotta give it in. These little niggas.
Oh yeah. By then I was already a fan. Bad and Bougie was just like a confirmation for me because I was already a huge fan.
I was late. But yeah, man. So it was over a dice game. There's like we don't have full information, but there's like text message, screenshots and stuff of people that were there describing it. Essentially he wasn't even involved. He was just chilling. He was known for being just like a really chill dude, like not trying to get active at all like that. And it sounds like in the crossfire he got shot and killed. And of course, you know, this is sending all kinds of like hot takes throughout the social media. You know, you got I saw Nick Young, former NBA player, Swaggy P, He swore off hip hop. And he swore off hip hop and nigga shit.
Oh no!
Yeah, which I'm like, boy, they hopped out. Then
his
they
whole
just
career was based off of nigga shit.
Yeah, I'm like not Swaggy P.
Not Swaggy P.
Mr. Shoot the three, turn around while it don't go in. Not you.
Not Mr. Come home to an empty house because what's the name left with all your shit.
Right. Come on, man. And then Designer.
Yeah, Iggy Azalea. Yep.
Yeah.
Designer was on the trying talking about he quitting. I'm like,
he quit hip hop. Like, it's heartbreaking. I mean, I have some empathy because I think obviously these people is grieving. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I don't know what the fuck I said the first time when Big and Pac died. I probably said some wild shit that night because I was younger or whatever. So, you know, I can see how they might be quote unquote overreacting. I still don't expect these niggas to truly give up hip hop. I don't expect Nick Young to start listening to country music or some shit. Like, it's just like it's just sad. And it does remind me of like it reminds me of that era of like stop the violence in hip hop. Y'all remember that? Like where self-destruction. Like, I'm wondering if we're gonna go back through that or something where rappers are gonna start actively being like, dog, we losing too many people out here. Pop Smoke, like, it's so many people dying, you know?
It's like I was talking to my sister today, right? Because I just found out too another one, like my little cousin, you know, got shot and killed, like, you know, very like last week, I think, very recently.
Damn.
Friday. Yeah. So it's just like, but we were talking about I know we'll get to this too. We were talking about Kyrie and Kanye and stuff, right? And this the thing, right? I don't want to, you know, get this show thrown under the river or whatever right here, but like, okay, the whole Hitler and there's no such thing as a what, you know,
the Holocaust.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, nigga, please. Now the actual facts are that, you know, in the global slave trade, there was, you know, the multiplication of deaths, you know, past the Holocaust is in the thousands.
Right.
So, you know, yes, the original people are Semitic, whatever, that's black, you know, okay, fine. And, you know, etc. There are some truths to what they're saying. And the thing is, rappers used to talk about that truth regularly. But now when Kanye says it and goes way too far, obviously, because this nigga's insane and is not the one to be saying any of this, is like he's like, oh no. And when Kyrie says something, and that's the problem, neither of these dudes are smart enough to really articulate their position the right way. And it's very tough to articulate that position because of things like Israel, where they hold this place in the world where you can't say shit. Because, but, you know, criticism of Israel should be a thing, you know, but you can't do that. And so because of that, it's a really fucked up situation. And so, no, I don't know if rappers are going to go back to that because corporations don't want rappers going back to that. Because corporations don't want rappers saying shit. And most rappers are controlled by corporations.
It just feel like it hadn't been this much prominent people, this emotional about this shit since then. Because I remember, like, it wasn't like all in the same gang, self-destruction, stop the violence. Them niggas was major rappers. Like, it wasn't like some also ran ass niggas banded up and was like them. It was like you would go see niggas in the concert. Exactly. So
that shit was banging on the radio every day when they came out. Hard. That was a hit. It was a jam.
Listen,
headed for self-destruction. What niggas in the party like, oh, and that was always so wild to me. It's like you over here dancing the headed for self-destruction. Like that shit is like
we was like trying to stop the violence at the time, and so I do wonder if that'll come back. But yeah, man, I just feel for the kids. If you got young people in your life that listen to hip hop, reach out to them because I remember talking to my niece about music. And this is like a couple years ago. And I was like, what you listening to right now? And she was like, Juice WRLD, you know, it's sad what happened to him. I'm like, yo, that was very sad. Da, da, da. The next nigga she named dead too. I'm like, oh man, you going through it.
It ain't like us. Like, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Tupac was like, Biggie, like I saw somebody say Biggie was more important to them. I know New York. I'm from Houston, you know, one. Okay. And it's crazy shit. I was in an Uber last night telling the Uber driver, yo, Texas different, fam. You know what I mean? Niggas will shoot you over anything. Don't fuck around. Because he'd never been. And I was like, yo, it's different. They will shoot you over anything. You know, it's different. People don't understand that.
I feel like I wonder if like part of that is this generation acting out because like of the disrespect. Because we did start with the like you little soft niggas and your skinny jeans and shit. I like these motherfuckers will kill you. like hey,
kill you.
Y'all better calm down. They can still pack heat in them skinny jeans.
Come on, they can distress you in them distressed jeans.
Okay, they pull out that man purse and get the cabin up in this bitch, and everybody gonna get shot. Like everybody need to calm down a little bit.
But like when Tupac got killed, that was like it broke my heart because I was such a fanatic of that dude, and I knew that when he got older, he was gonna be something so much different, you know, and like we never got to see that, and we never get to see with any of these dudes. You know what I mean? It's like Juice WRLD broke my heart because that dude was so ill creative, you know, like such an ill level of creativity that you don't, you know, he barely got to start.
Right.
You know, it's like people are like, oh, he's singing off key and shit. I'm like, that nigga's making fucking jams that hit you in the soul. It don't matter what his like, you know, how you singing. Because it took me a second. I was like, this nigga can't sing for shit. But then when I really got into that, like that first was the Lucid Dreams. Oh man, when I finally figured out, I hated it. I was like, this nigga singing terrible over the Sting sample, fucking bastard. And then and then I got into it, and I'm like, oh god, I get it. This nigga's incredible.
And then the other thing,
me alone. What nigga? That shit was hard.
The other thing with the Kyrie thing is this, because I remember I grew up in the era we had 5%ers. You know, you had your Hebrew Israelite black people. I know at least in Fayetteville State of my HBCU we had them. And the thing I miss is that they used to be like an insular thing. And in the way that the internet has allowed people that's like to start like QAnon and to start like it's a certain type of fringe mentality that it don't seem like when it seemed more harmless when it's like a dude, you know, that wear like a kufi and he sell you incense and he wants you to read the 48 laws of power over and over and shit. And you like, yeah, that dude's cool. I give my motherfucking nag champer from him, and then I keep it moving.
Black soap, so I ain't going about my business.
Yeah, maybe if I have enough time, maybe I sit around watch him make a white girl cry by calling her the white devil or some shit, you know. And that was like what it used to be, you know. Like they let me tell you about this Bible verse or the Yakub or whatever. You like, that's cool, bro. How much for the African line soap though? 2 for $5, cool. Appreciate y'all. See you next week. But then I think with the internet, a lot of stuff can go unchecked, but it can become like its own echo, you know, like its own silo.
Yep.
And so you can go on the internet and find somebody that'll tell you whatever you want to believe.
Agreed. And
you can get those Tariq Nasheed like documentaries. You can go on there and check out Dr. Umar every day. You can get whatever it is. And I think Kyrie during the pandemic must have got down one of them silos,
rabbit holes.
And he just think he telling everybody what he learned. Like, this is what I know now. And I'm not gonna go watch a 3.5 hour documentary that costs $12 to rent and $50 to buy. I'm sorry, Kyrie. Not even for journalistic integrity will I do that shit. I have the time or the money to waste on that. But yeah, I think that's where he fucked up, and he don't want to like take it back. And then when you see the synopsis of the documentary, some of the shit is saying, you can't say the Holocaust isn't real.
Right.
Like, that's just, you can't say that. And like, I saw a dude was in my mentions yesterday going, man, anti-Semitism, what does it even mean anymore? I mean, they trying to make it seem like it's everything. I said, nigga, the Holocaust not real, always been anti, like that one's been number one. It's number one on the list of shit you can't say. Right. That's not a new one.
Like, who cares that the Holocaust ain't real? Let's talk about the fact that Israel was created after the Holocaust, and they act like it's some biblical shit when it was like countries went in and were like, you know, give up your piece of your land. Like,
right. They not even engaging that part of it. They stuck on they stuck on the shit that will get you cussed out and fired or whatever. Like, yeah. And so I think also it's the fact that Kyrie's not a good avatar for any of this shit anyway, because he had a press conference about it, and his avoidance and victimization of himself, saying he was being dehumanized. I'm like, bro, you can't write and say Jews worship Satan and they'd be like, I'm being dehumanized. You can't have it both ways, man. Like, you can't. He was like, he said, I have an important platform. I have to speak for my people. Cool. 30 seconds later, he said, why are y'all so worried about me? I'm just a person. It's not like I have a platform. I was like, bro, you can't be the guy to talk about this then. Just shut the fuck up and play basketball. I hate to sound like these white people when LeBron was when Kaepernick was taking a knee, but this nigga really do need to shut up and dribble, man. What are you doing?
Not everybody is that, is ready for that. Like that, it's like that's why Tupac was special. That's why, Muhammad Ali was special. Like, these people, and ain't everybody built like that. Like, who's my man? They're all, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now niggas want to criticize Kareem. Like,
right. Kareem built like that. They make 2 Kareems, dog.
You go criticize Jim Brown, and I thought he was, but he don't seem to be, all the way built like that. But
yeah, but my man Kareem, he was built like that because I'm saying like I still remember him doing that press conference in like the 70s and shit, being like, I ain't going to the motherfucking Olympics and I'm against this war. I was like, oh, I haven't. They didn't show me this archive footage when they did the Kareem tribute during the NBA. I didn't know you was out here like this, player.
No.
He used to be Luau Sindor. He said, we changing that. So I mean, and you would think that would give him enough respect to that. If he called you out as a current NBA player, there should be a little bit of like, let me at least hear what he's saying. Because you don't have to agree with it, obviously. And obviously no one likes being called out, period. That's
right.
But you would think that, you'd be a little bit of like, well, shit, if that's fam saying that, what is he saying I'm doing wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Let me go check myself.
What he say I did wrong again? Oh shit, so you can't say that Holocaust shit. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take that out. Boom. That should be that easy. But and then the Kanye stuff, I think he just not taking care of his mental health. He closed Honda Academy, and what was weird about that was he closed it, and then I want to say like tweeted he closed it by tweeting, number one, which what? Then a couple hours later tweeted it was open, but only for them to come in and pray.
But that wasn't him from allegedly. That was like a parent said that. We're back with a vengeance one. That was a parent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, it was closed. Yeah, it was like no, they closed it and that was it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because that's ridiculous. And then now they're saying he got a disturbing history of admiring Hitler. He wanted to
that one. But see, this goes back to like, and I was talking about this with my sister today too, like the whole Griselda crew, right? Mm-hmm. Who I'm kind of like, lukewarm about in general. I think they cool, whatever. Yeah. And but the whole fact that dude made several albums called Hitler Wears Hermes. Like,
really?
Oh yeah. It's on Spotify to this day. Like, and that's the hilarious thing is his new album would have been Hitler Wears Hermes number 10 because he just kept naming them that.
What?
But now, but now because he's blown up, his new album is just named 10.
Oh wow!
That's why the new album that just dropped this week.
Yeah, 2021. Hitler Wears Hermes 8.
There you go. There you go.
Damn.
He kept doing it.
This reminds me of the best and worst joke I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, those are always great.
It was on Frisky Dingo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they was making a parody of like rap at the time. And there was a dude, I forget the name of the rapper, but his album it's all parody, it's a joke, but his album title was The Ballocaust. And it was a black dude that was clearly and it's crazy that happened in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like
somebody made that album. An album called The Ballocaust.
Hitler Wears Hermes. That's essentially the same shit. Like niggas don't play with the Holocaust. Like that's not even our lane. What are we even doing over there?
I don't get it. Yeah, I just don't like. I never understood it, and I've never like Googled why because I didn't care that much. You know? But it was just like, wow, that's weird, fam. And then when I know that Kanye is definitely listening to them a lot, I feel like I don't trust none of these niggas no more. That's the thing. I like Toby and Igwe. Like that's the only rapper who, of like honestly, the new generation who.
And honestly, if we find out Toby was in a cult the whole time, I wouldn't be.
It would not, bat an eyelash. Like I'm like, wow, well, yeah.
Because I'll be listening.
It was good, but it lasted.
I'll be listening and kind of want to join the cult. Like I'll be like, this ain't that bad. I might give up all my worldly possession, give me some green overalls, and call it a day. Like my man. My man might figure something out.
I love me some Toby. I can't lie. So,
love me some Toby, man. Look, I'm not saying I feel like that after I watch the video, but I feel like that the whole time I'm watching the video. Like, I'm like, this shit is like, these niggas are having a great time out in this field in all green and shit, dressed up in pastels and fucking. I love it.
Love it, baby. Love it.
I'm gonna show y'all a picture. This is a picture of the album cover. For,
oh my god!
Ballocaust. It is at once the worst and best joke. I routinely think of this and laugh at the audacity of them to do this.
What is this from?
Frisky Dingo. Yes. The same people that make like Archer.
Yes.
And stuff like that. It was like a Cartoon Network 15-minute animated comedy. That really, like, John Benjamin did the voice of the main dude that looks just like Sterling Archer. Like, it's like Archer is really this toned down. Like, it's them going, that was crazy. We shouldn't have did all that and bringing it down a notch. And that's why they got 8 seasons or whatever. But yeah, man, I can't. Ben just put me on. I didn't know somebody West Side Gun really made albums like that.
And somebody in the chat said he was supposed to own like the 8 was the last one, but I'm like, nigga, why did you need 8 of these shits? Like,
like, and ain't 8 like 8 got some type of weird Holocaust symbolism or Nazi symbolism and shit. No. Just stop playing over there in that lane, dog. What's the point?
Like, I never got the the whole Noriega. I mean, like with Noriega, and then it got like everybody started name, like they were like, I'm naming myself after Gaddafi, and and this person and that person. It's like.
Yeah, that was wild as fuck era too, man. But yeah, they say he has a disturbing history of admiring Hitler. And then what I find interesting is like how many people must have, we say this a lot with Kanye over the years, but we're like, where are the people around him to like protect him or keep him from like destroying himself? And that apparently they have been around and they have been helping. We've been getting the helped version.
Yeah, he ain't been listening.
Like somebody been somewhere being like, can y'all just take that out of the interview, the part where he said the part about Hitler? Thank you so much. And we've been getting the other part of the interview going, man, this dude needs help. He need extra help apparently. Good grief.
Nigga, like that shit. And it's like the most basic shit. It's like the same shit every stupid white person says. Look what he did for Germany. Look out, man. It's like, nigga, like, damn, you basic, nigga. Like, you ain't even got some original, wild shit to say.
Naming an album Hitler just seems so ridiculous to me. So
yes, sir.
Like if that ain't a cry for help, I don't know what to say. Let's talk about some other news. How many times do you think a glass of tap water that you drink has been consumed by a person before you get to it?
Hundreds.
Ben says 100.
Thousands.
Yeah, I would say thousands. Yeah, because they recycle water.
10. 10. Now, the reason I say you probably got to think about this, we probably haven't had running water that long in the history of mankind, right? So it's not going to go all the way back to like, the dinosaur days. Like we just got the glasses of water that we can pour out of a sink right now, but it has at least been drank by up to 10 people for every glass of tap water that you drink. And there's never been more water in the earth. So all the water we're drinking is the water since the inception of water on earth.
Oh, so ain't no new water?
Ain't no new water. Ain't no less water because it's all a perfect cycle. Water is that thing. It just has states of matter. It's water, gas, vapor, back down to water.
Yeah, and this is why environmentalist shit matters. Where them niggas be like, don't be fucking up the water, don't be building shit here, make shit so we won't have all this erosion. Like that's why they out there really advocating that shit. And who you vote for matters because you got a group of people that go fuck them trees, fuck your oxygen, fuck that water. And so the same people that's like, my rights, what is your rights gonna be when you don't have shit? The same people that you cussing out talking about I never vote for you is the same people that is the reason why you have the luxuries that you have and everything ain't on motherfucking fire and then I charge you for air over here.
Yeah, I mean Republicans are straight up let fire come out of your fucking sink.
Yes,
like, they be like we fracking over here. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, I seen fracking where the water was on fire. Nigga,
deal with it.
What was that?
But yeah, they said
that was some insane shit. That was like the most like we don't talk about that enough.
We really don't.
Like, fire came out of that bitch.
Like, fracking came and went too fast for us because that was like
it's still
the water is on fire.
It's just still happening. It's one of the things that you just try and forget about because you like life sucks. Lord. Like,
somebody somewhere just like turn on the water. It's getting cold in here. What you got the heat on 6? You got the AC on, man. Turn on that water.
Turn on that water. Heat up the house.
Once you rid your body of water, it embarks on a journey to the sewage plant where it's purified for direct use, or it takes a different path to a natural water body that flows out to the sea before returning back to your home. They said the water on Earth is the same water for the nearly 5 billion years, meaning you are drinking dinosaur urine. Why they had to put that fact in there? Like, but yeah, while humans have been separating waste and water for thousands of years, it was not until the beginning of the 21st century that people perfected the technique that allows for safe drinking water.
Yeah, well, you just make people sick.
Yeah. Oh my God, man, we drinking dinosaur urine. But listen, we fortunate to have it. We are fortunate to have it. People have been forced to return to the office. Now, y'all remember when the pandemic first started, people was going home and everybody was working remotely. One of the biggest things that every week you get a new article is like, yo, productivity has gone up. Productivity is rising as people are allowed to work from the crib. Because while you're never at work, you're never not at work. When you work from home, okay?
Right. So you're always on.
So now these businesses to justify the real estate they bought are like, y'all got to come on back.
I bet your productivity went down, didn't it?
There you go. That's the article.
Yes. Productivity went down because, not trying to be funny, I'm gonna tell you right now, particularly if you're somebody that loves to work from home. Now I got to get my ass dressed. I got to get in my car. I got to drive up there. I got to fucking fight with commute. So guess what? You ain't gonna get no overtime, bitch. You gonna get that 8 to 5. I'm clocking my ass out. I'm taking all my breaks. I'm walking away from my desk. Like it's a lot of stuff that people dealt with in the office space because a lot of people act like, put like this, a lot of people act like being in the office was good for everybody. Now, there are some people where they need to be in the office, but there are some people, they did not like being in the office. You don't have to deal with microaggressions. I bet you HR loved it because they didn't have to deal with sexual harassment. They, all them shits cut down because everybody in Zoom. So they didn't have to deal with nobody coming up here, reporting on people and shit. All that shit was eliminated because everybody was at the house. When people get back around each other, all that shit went back up again. And yeah, I can see productivity going down and everybody don't know why, because it should be an option. I know they don't want to hear that, but it should be an option. You want to bring your ass in here, cool. You want to stay at home, cool. And the thing is, what I've listened to a lot of podcasts that have talked about this, and they brought up a good point. They were saying a lot of companies are lazy when it comes to remote learning. If you want to do it right, they would say you actually have to restructure the company and literally find out what jobs really need you to be here and what jobs don't. And they don't want to do that. So they go 3 days here, 4 days off, float around and all that stuff. They don't want to actually do the part and pay for the professional people that can actually tell you what can make it the most beneficial and profitable for your company. And so this is why you got this bullshit. And the thing is, the people that go to work are actually somewhat angry because there's nobody in there because half of them stay at the house. And so then they mad because they sitting there and they zooming, which is some shit they could have did at the house.
Well, I agree with everything you said. I think also this is people probably feeling a little bit of resentment.
Yep.
It's like how I know they think they invented this term this year, but people said quiet quitting. And then when you read about quiet quitting, it's just motherfuckers were just doing their jobs. Like I was like, oh wait, y'all was doing this extra shit. Why was y'all doing that? Like maybe it's because I'm Gen X, But it's like, because they like, I refuse to work. If my boss calls me on a weekend, I just wait till Monday. I'm like, why would you ever not wait until Monday? Was they paying you weekend money? They wasn't? Mm-mm. Well, that's on you, fam. But anyway, it sounds like more people are doing that. I think that's one of the reasons I really never liked, and I think this is also a Gen X thing. I never liked the we're family shit at jobs. Like, we're a family, man. You know,
younger generation.
Here at Dunder Mifflin, we believe we're a family or whatever. I never liked that shit because I'm like, you know what family do? Family do shit like call you Thursday at 1 a.m. and be like, can you pick me up from the airport? And you do it because it's family. You niggas ain't my family. You're not finna trick me. It is bullshit. Like, I have to be around my family for Thanksgiving. I don't have to be around y'all. Y'all not about to trick me, make me come to the potluck and stay extra and do some work. Nope.
Right. And also the thing is, what's really funny is what I've realized over my years in corporate America, people act like there's something wrong with you if you have a life outside a job, because the trick of work is making work people's social circles. This is why a lot of people had a problem during the pandemic, because they had no life outside of work. So they felt like if they went back to work, they get their social circles back together again.
Oh yeah, the people that wanted everybody to come back to work together.
But it's like, find some shit to do.
Yeah,
it's like, all types of clubs.
It wasn't. Hold on, it wasn't everybody. It was a small subset of people that was like, we need to be at work in person, and you're like, nah, you gotta make some friends, fam. You gotta go meet some people. You're not about to have everybody back to work, man. We like this. A lot of us are cool with being at home on Zoom compared to like being up in the office with your ass right now. But let's get into the last story before we get into sword ratchetness. All right. Twitter will reportedly start charging verified users, of which I am one, $20 a month so they can stay verified. This is Elon Musk's big plan to make money off of Twitter, because Twitter notoriously loses money. And he bought the shit, and everybody was like, you bought a lemon?
Yeah, they called this bluff and forced him to buy that shit. And I don't think he really wanted to buy it.
He's like, and his thing is, you can opt into this too. So like, if you're not verified right now, you're hearing the sound of my voice, for $20 a month, just the price of Netflix Premium with no commercials. About $7 more than Disney Plus, you too can have a check mark next to your name on Twitter. Now, the reasoning didn't seem too solid, as Elon Musk says something about doing away with the way that they like use it like as a class thing. Like, he was like, we got to do away with the serfdom versus the royalty or whatever of Twitter, but with these blue check marks, which isn't really true, because it's not about how much money you have that gets you verified.
Nope.
But because if you're just like a journalist, and journalists don't make that much money, but if you're just like a journalist, sometimes you can get verified just because it's about not impersonating that person. You don't want somebody to hop on your website and be like, actually, I'm DJ Ben Amin, and the fucking
still can't get verified though for that. Yeah,
which is crazy, right? So
and I've had all kind of people like, you know, quote my tweets in all kind of places. So
right, yeah. I got verified over a joke, a viral
and
joke.
I've had viral ass jokes, and like when I insulted, you know, I've had like all kind of, you know, white people using my tweets in all kind of wild ways because I said something, and
like it was. I got verified over a joke, and at no point did I try to get verified. It was them reaching out to me like, oh, so because you did this and you got interviewed, we need to verify you. I'm like, okay, cool. We've tried to get Karen verified, the other half of this podcast, for like 10 years.
Like,
nothing. Nothing.
Can't get four nerds ain't verified, nothing.
Crazy.
Yeah, they hit me with that who?
So it hasn't ever really meant a lot to me because of that. Like, it's so arbitrary. I can't put too much stock in it because it's not like I'm special. It's like if you won the lottery and being like, because I invested and I saved. It's like, no, nigga, you won the lottery. It's random. So you can't be too excited. But if you make it so everybody can buy a check mark, then it really is about the haves versus the have-nots.
Correct.
Who has $240 a year to spend to have this thing next to their name? And of course, it's not going to be cool anymore to a lot of people because now you the cornball who needed validation so bad you spent $240. That's how a lot of people are going to look at the shit, unless you get like a company paying for it or something. So I think this is interesting that's the where he wants to go with this. And yeah, if he pulls this off, I'll just be losing it.
Like, I was talking about that earlier. I think it's hilarious right now because we're seeing that he's an idiot in real time, that he's not this genius people talk about, you know. And this is so ridiculously stupid. And it's like, this is how you think this don't make money?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And
these are your ideas.
That's your big plan?
Right. What you gonna do? All right, I'm gonna let everybody that say nigga come back. That's step one. You're like, I'm
gonna fire all the people who know how to work this shit. Step two.
Everybody who know how to work this shit, and and they were smart. They already had that shit in order. It was like, well, if this nigga come in and fire me.
Technically, he's now saying he's firing them with cause, so he's trying not to pay them their parachutes. Now, I mean, this is rich people problems. They're gonna fight that out in court. So I don't know.
But that ain't. I'm just more talking about that. You fire the people who know how to run this shit. Like
that's what I'm saying.
And then my third move is to charge niggas for a check mark.
Right. Now to bring in everybody from Tesla, the company that's losing money and the cars burning and shit. Listen, like, fam.
They never delivered on self-driving cars after, niggas bought a car that said it was self-driving, and that shit ain't self-driving to this day.
We still haven't gotten the self-driving cars. And you can fucking burn the truck in them bitches. That's not okay. That's backwards as fuck, man. Oh, I would hate to work for that dude, and every day he be coming up with a dumbass idea. Like, all right, put the self-driving cars on the back burner for a second, right? What about buying Twitter? I'd be like, nigga, we didn't even finish the cars. The factory's racist as fuck, man. What you doing? All right. I hear what you're saying. What about this?
What about Twitter though?
What about NFTs? Like, pick a lane. All right. What if we go to space? No, we don't need to go. We didn't even get the cars working right.
How we gonna go to space?
This nigga's a hustler, man. White people grip different, man.
Yeah, they do.
Yo, they are, brother. And the fate and like that's another one. Like it's like that insane fandom of this dude is like. Yes. It's like white people just need a white man to believe in, boy. They need it. Like it is a desperate thing because they have nothing. So they have these fucking bums to prop up. Yeah, it's like they gotta prop up bums. Because we got people like Michael Jackson and Prince, and they got nothing, So it's like nothing. We got George Washington Carver. Nigga made everything off of one peanut. Like everything. Could have saved the world off of peanuts. Right. They could have made gas and fuel off of peanuts if they let him, and they wouldn't let him do this shit.
This y'all hero. He take over companies where people already was doing a good job and then do a bad job with the company.
And they try and act like this nigga's brilliant and everything because they need it, dog. It's just like Rocky. They just need that shit.
They need him to be Tony Stark so bad, fam.
So bad. And this nigga can't even be Lex Luthor. Like, this nigga ain't even Luthor. Like, this nigga's a terrible villain, dog. This nigga's a bum. Like, this nigga's the Riddler out here, nigga. Like, this nigga's ass. Oh, this nigga is literally the Riddler in that new movie. A terrible bum ass villain who should have got his ass into the first fucking 5 minutes.
Man, yeah, between him and like Bezos, man, it's just like this is all y'all got. This y'all king.
All y'all got.
Damn.
Bezos is just absolutely ruthless. That's all he got going for him.
Yeah.
Like y'all know about that story, right? How Amazon is, if you go to relentless.com, Amazon still to this day pops up.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like because that was the original name, Relentless.
Yeah, and Amazon is like they just had another report about them having the most deaths and injuries per like warehouse and shit of any company in America. Like it was crazy. But the thing for me is like it's the reason I'm careful when I talk about like the billionaires, because I know it's no such thing as a good billionaire, blah blah. But I still say black billionaires better because they all have a talent. Like they every black person that's allowed to get money in America had to like sing, dance, rap. White people just be white. It's nothing that they did special where you like, yo, you know what? I don't like how Jeff Bezos runs the company, but you got to give it up to him. That album was fired. You never gonna hear that sentence because they don't have a talent. Their talent is literally just using people. It's different. Anyway.
It's different. And like you said, they can't even be like a George Washington Carver where you can be like, nah, nigga, this nigga really did this shit. You know, no. Like,
they can't even. Madam C.J. Walker. Oh, man. She fucking found a niche in the market and helped people that weren't being helped. And that's how she got her money. That's shit. Black people still, that's how we make our money. It's all shit like slutty vegan. And like, how she get that money? Because she knew white people was racist. And she said black people probably like vegan food with seasoning. Now she rich.
Right.
Ta-da. But Jeff Bezos, they be like, how he get his money? All right, so he brought back slavery. He added 2 steps to slavery. And now he owned America. Like, damn. All right. Final segment. Let's talk about sword ratchetness. Sword ratchet is where we go around the globe, find different stories about swords, and we try to raise awareness. Okay.
Did we lose Ben?
Oh, we lost Ben. Oh shit! Waiting on him to reconnect. Oh god. All right, I'll read the story. Hopefully he can come back on, and then we'll finish off with him because I want him to shout out the thing one more time. Mm-hmm. But you let me know because I'm reading the article. So if you see him pop back up, so holler at me, okay?
No problem.
Sword attack at New Zealand's Prime Minister's Auckland office. Woman arrested. Not the Prime Minister. That's like they president.
Yes, it is.
Police in New Zealand arrested a woman on Thursday in connection with a sword attack on Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern's electorate office in Auckland. A police spokesperson confirmed the arrest of a 57-year-old woman, adding that she was currently assisting police with our inquiries into the matter.
Look like he back.
Okay, cool. Yay. All right. According to emergency services, the sword outside the Mount Arbor electorate office on New North Road in Morningside was found on the ground outside. So far, no injuries have been reported. Xinhua news agency quoted the emergency services as saying a scene examination will be conducted. Inquiries also on the way. Arden is presently in Antarctica, so she wasn't even there. She's in Antarctica for a 4-day visit celebrating the 65th anniversary of New Zealand Scott Base, the country's only research station in the icy continent, and she won't return until Friday. So this person rode up to the motherfucking Prime Minister's office with a sword, and wasn't. This is like that dude that attacked Nancy Pelosi husband. Where it's like, you didn't even do a little bit of research. Like, this is a horrible assassination attempt in addition to sword ratchetness. So y'all be careful out there. If you're working in government, these people with swords is crazy. Be careful, be safe. Ben, tell everybody about Crown Wakanda and how to be there. And
wait, that was it? So you just mentioned something about swords?
Yeah, every episode we have sword ratchetness. We're trying to raise awareness about the swords that are out here, because
it's dangerous in these streets. You can buy like clowns.
Can you get the Willie D? I live by the sword.
We trying to encourage people not to live by the sword. We trying to tell people
it's by the sword, not by the sword. He lives by the sword. Those are two different things.
We're trying to keep people not living that Willie D life. Like, put the swords away. All right, guys. There's a lot of fucking guns out here already, and you already done lost out if you pulling the sword on somebody with a gun anyway. Let's just try to calm it down.
Ain't no regulations. We read about all types of stories. They be slicing each other up all types of ways. It's
I know you seen some at Comic-Con. I know you seen some.
Look, I will tell my funniest sword story right now. When I was in, for those that don't know, and this is a much longer story that I'm not gonna get into right now, I was incarcerated in Dubai at one time. All right. Long story short. While I'm there, this one local who was incarcerated with me, he lived in Dubai, a young kid. He had stabbed 2 of his friends in a fight. So when he went to the court, the judge asked him, "Did you stab your friends in this fight?" And my man said, "Judge, I only stabbed him a little bit."
Oh no, a little bit. Oh no.
Either you stabbed him or you didn't, baby. Ain't no little bit to this.
Somebody said they're about to go to Dubai. Cancel your trip. It's racist and horrible. Sorry.
Antonio Brown was over there putting his dick out.
Go to somewhere where they love black people, like Africa. Like Sincere. Go to any country. Any continent.
Go to Africa like Nas did at the end of Belly. Ben, tell him how to get to Crown Wakanda, man.
I won't tell him how to get to Dubai. That's for real. Ooh, he said just a little bit. I'll never forget my man. That's what
y'all acting like I stabbed it through him. Damn.
he was like, it was just a little blade.
I'm talking about it was maybe 6 to 10 inches in this man. Okay, damn. Y'all overreact.
Nigga said that shit with a straight face in the court, nigga.
Like, you can't trust people with swords, man, because that's the kind of shit they be thinking.
Ooh. Lord, all right, well, yeah, think pretty smart, stay safe, and watch yourself because them people crazy there. Anyway, Crown Wakanda, November 10th, Nighthawk Cinema. You can go to Eventbrite, search Crown Wakanda. It comes right up. It's the only Crown Wakanda. Eventbrite. You can get your tickets on there. I'll be DJing. Me and Tatiana will be there live. We're gonna do like a live pre-show. We got giveaways. We're planning a lot of stuff. Everyone will be dipped out in their African regalia, your Afrofuturism, your flyest wears, whatever comes suit and tie, however you want to do it. It's going to be a big gala affair. Like I said, pre-party with me DJing, post-party DJing and destruction, talking about the movie, everything. Thursday night, you can't get tickets like this. It's sold out everywhere, So like straight up, if you're in New York, there ain't no seats. So right now you can get a seat Thursday night with Black and brown people ahead of the Friday drop. It's gonna be crazy. I promise you. It's gonna like the last one was just, it was a beautiful, beautiful event. Like that shit.
And you got the after party for everybody to fight. Like
it's
on.
Yeah, it's on. It's on.
Oh man, y'all go out there, man. If you listen to the sound of my voice and you got a chance to go enjoy yourself. You're gonna want to watch this with good company. For Our Nerds got great fans, man. Like
they do.
The same way I'm so proud of our fan base, I'm proud of their fan base too. Because like they always are cool people. Whenever we cross over and we get people coming over, they're always cool people.
Ain't they though?
Same way. Yeah,
sure y'all do that.
They keep us going. I ain't gonna lie, because it's been a long time, but we were not financially solvent at all. And even this is a big financial dip we putting in right now. So but it's
help out.
But I love the fandom. And also as a part of this, on Saturday morning, we're doing a screening for the children at Nighthawk Cinema. We have a theater rented out for kids. We're partnering up with Super Vibes DJ Academy, which is a local New York City Black-owned DJ Academy that teaches kids the power of music and everything else that comes with it. And so we're partnering up with them. They're bringing kids. I think we're working with another organization to bring kids. And we have a GoFundMe for that, where you can also search on GoFundMe for Crown Wakanda. If you're not in New York and you just want to help out in any way, hit us up there. GoFundMe Crown Wakanda and Eventbrite Crown Wakanda.
For Our Nerds, love the kids, man.
Man, we love them, man. And the last time we did it, I missed the kids screening, so I didn't get to see it with the kids. So I had to go back to LA that time. But this time, God willing, I'll be there that morning, and I'm gonna see it with a bunch of kids.
I know they're gonna love that.
Oh man, I can't wait, because this movie is so like this is.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy for.
This is
heavy for kids.
But
they're gonna need you there. They're gonna need you there anyway, because I remember when Optimus Prime died in the movie theater, and if my mom wasn't there, I don't know if I would have made it, man.
I saw that with my mans. Me and my mans went and saw that. There was no parents with us. Woo! It was just us.
I couldn't have did it for Dolo as a kid, man. Thank God my mom was there.
Nigga devastated.
Listen.
Me and my mans on that long bus ride home, bad bros.
That thing hurt me, boy. I said, death is real, and it can happen to Optimus Prime.
I swear to God, to this day, it's not even Optimus, dog. It's when that nigga Megatron busts in that ship and shoots Ironhide in the chest, and smoke come out that nigga's mouth, and I was like, "What am I watching?"
And the cannon blast go through the hole of the ship.
Chest, yes,
damn,
goes through his chest and out the ship, and this nigga smoke. That nigga's eyes turn red, smoke come out that nigga's mouth.
Dog, that movie is so fucking dark. That I promise we can move it.
That nigga Optimus runs over the head of an Insecticon and crushes that nigga. Crushes that nigga's head.
When Starscream fucking lets Megatron die, and Megatron was like, "I still function. Wanna bet? Just threw this nigga out. Threw this nigga to oblivion." I said, "Man, what is this? They don't do this on the motherfucking Monday through Friday cartoon."
That shit.
Oh my God.
We was completely unprepared for him, and that nigga ran over that nigga's head. I was like, Optimus, no, like, nigga, you didn't kill these niggas. Like, nigga.
We need some therapy after this. We need some
y'all
fucking
just supposed to fight, you know? They supposed to say retreat, you know, and then y'all do it again.
Right.
That nigga ran over that nigga's head like I'm tired of that retreat shit, nigga.
Right. Taking electric axes to the fucking face and shit, dog. Can't just put that in front of some kids.
Y'all gonna
That
get
nigga Optimus told this nigga Metron, I've waited forever to shoot you, nigga. Like, like what type of shit?
They make it gangster.
Man, that was that. Yeah, go rewatch that movie, everybody.
Yeah, because man, you went to the theater to watch it, didn't it?
I forget the Fathom events. Occasionally, they do this thing where they go through theaters and they bring back old movies. So Karen had never seen that movie. So I took her to go see it, and
it was so fun. People were quoting
relived
lines.
The only good thing was that we had. Everybody who came to see it was specifically there for that movie. Right. So all of us was quoting shit. The whole movie. I seen it for the first time. It was beautiful to watch them just quoting lines and pointing at the screen. I was like, these people getting their life up in here.
Oh, man.
This is
open, damn it. Open when that nigga's trying to open. Open, damn it. And then they blow that nigga apart like it's no problem.
Bruh. Ultra Magnus was the worst.
Nigga, I had the toy. I was so mad. Man, that nigga apart. I just bought the toy.
I thought he was the new Optimus because he had the color scheme and shit. I bought the toy before the movie.
Yes. This nigga's a sucker.
Bro, I was mad as hell. I was like, I would have brought the fucking minivan if I knew Optimus Prime was gonna be the damn that dude. Like, this nigga is whack. And he had a dope name, Ultra Magnus. It sounded like he's gonna be the king.
Yeah.
Oh, what a whack nigga.
Struggling. Open, damn it.
Oh, man. All right, man. All right. We got to get out of here. Make sure y'all tune in. Check out the YouTube. If you can get to this live show. This is why it's important to get to the live show. We having mad fun with the audience. You get to see Ben Amin's Cowboy Bebop shirt.
Come on,
you get to see.
I've never finished this damn movie, this series. Never finished it in my life.
You never finished it?
No, it bores the living life out of me. I can't.
God, I love it.
It's one of the best, and the music.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go.
I love music. I love parts of it, but I just can't get through the whole.
I finished it. It's one of those ones where, like, if you ever get in that rhythm of being able to watch it, you definitely gonna cry near the end. It's like it's one of them, like, when you get to like episode 25, 26, it start hurting a little bit, because that's back when anime used to really be like, you getting 28 episodes and we are never doing this story again.
Never.
Ain't no season 2.
No, that's it. Yeah. I'm gonna try again, damn it, because I got shirts and everything, and I love the aesthetic and I love everything about it, but I've just never been able to finish it, you know.
That's all good, man. Listen, we all got different things. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually a special show. We're gonna be recording at like 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
Some people's lunchtime breaks.
With Dr. Rae Wynn-Grant, and she's gonna be talking about Black people outside. She's got the documentary called Going Wild, and we're just gonna be talking about all kinds of shit that me and Karen don't do, like nature and bugs and camping and shit. So I can't wait to talk to her about it.
People invite me. I was like, bitch, out there with the bugs.
Yeah,
I'm good.
This is why people listen to us. We got wide ranging guests. We go from DJ Ben Amin, and that's one type of nerdy, and then we're gonna get a different type of nerdy out here with these animals. So we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Ben.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.